How old were you when you became a millionaire?
What's your name?
See, the rejection has come here already.
Could I get 1 minute with you real quick?
No.
Someone says no, someone says they're not interested.
I'm not interested.
We get something we do not expect.
I'm a super private guy.
Someone turns their backs upon us. We face resistance. We face friction that happens in the world.
Not on camera though.
Yeah?
No, I'm good though.
Oh no, this situation. And then you start to stumble and ramble. And what allows us to continue through is to try and understand how you can open opportunities by using your communication skills. All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. Thank you for joining me. I am Jasky, also Australia's #1 street interviewer. Have now reached over 750 million views and also started off as a very shy, sweaty, introverted individual, lost my voice, went on this journey to be obsessed with getting better at my communication skills, traveled the world doing stand-up comedy, and have also generated over $1 million a month from cold calling. And I'm probably the only dude that I know that puts it into practice. I learn all of this stuff to try and put it back into practice, as I don't just want to be an armchair commentator. I want to learn these things, share them with you, because I use them day to day, and you can click on any of the links and go check it out, how I put it into practice, where I do fail many times. Enough with the prefacing. What I am doing here today and what the title of this video is to try and understand how you can open opportunities by using your communication skills. And that is not from a vague overarching umbrella perspective. That is, how do you overcome the one thing that a lot of people struggle with, and that is the fear of rejection, or when rejection presents itself, you crumble into a little warm bucket of flowing liquid that just gets poured out and disappears into the abyss. Now, when a curveball or tense question is thrown our way, when we get something we do not expect, someone says no, someone says they're not interested, someone turns their backs upon us, we face resistance, we face friction that happens in the world, what allows us to continue through? So I experience that day to day in my own interviews, and it's something that I've had to overcome over many, 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 many years. And believe me, I was not very good at any of these things. These are all trained, learned behaviors, and hopefully I can help you do the same. That's the point of this entire channel. But what I will be analyzing is not myself, and not sticking my head too far up my ass, but I will be analyzing another interviewer who has had incredible success and a channel that's probably reached most people's algorithm, The School of Hard Knocks. And it is what I believe, a young 23-year-old gentleman by the name of James Dumoulin, who exemplifies this in a number of his interviews. And essentially what he does is speaks to affluent people and tries to get interesting insights from people who have had great success in their life. And what are these little snippets that he can share on these social platforms that the younger generation can listen to and implement in their own lives to have a faster growth in their professional careers. Let's watch one of them, then I'll give you a little bit of commentary, and hopefully you'll leave today by developing that skill of overcoming the fear of rejection, or the fear of rejection kind of goes away. There's a few hacks you can implement into your conversational skills, implement into your just general aura, your body language, your presentation before you go into that environment, that hopefully overcomes this generally. Okay? Let me let you watch one and then we'll come back.
What?
How old were you when you became a millionaire?
I have no freaking clue.
What line of business are you in?
Venture capital? Why?
VC?
Yeah.
I grew a channel to 17 million followers. I go all over the world interviewing successful
Good
people to help
job.
the younger generation. I've interviewed 25 billionaires in the last 4 years. Could I get 1 minute with you real quick?
No, but thank you.
2 questions. Somebody's trying to raise money for their business. What's the #1 thing that you look for in a founder that tells you, I'm going to give my money to them?
Market opportunity.
And what is the best opportunity in today's world?
Anything to do with AI.
AI? So
It change everything.
Would you say that if you're not using AI, you're going to
You
get...
are so good.
I think that's enough to kind of gather what we're trying to get at here. Interesting. You can see the level of resistance and rejection that he has to face in that situation. First and foremost, I'll start from the approach here. You can see the response of the person he approaches initially, to hopefully see there was initial interest to move forward, and then it was pure rejection. I'm not interested in this conversation. And most people in this moment would probably end it there. Okay.
Sir, question for you. How old were you?
So, question for you. The man moves closer thinking someone has a question for him. I'm not sure if he's aware that this is going to be an interview and so on and so forth. So, just being a general polite person, people do go, hey, someone has a question for me. I'm happy to answer it. And
When you became a millionaire?
What?
How old were you when you became a millionaire?
I have no freaking clue.
What line of
he notices the camera. He notices kind of what's happening. There's a little bit of confusion and lack of clarity what's going on.
business are you in?
Venture capital? Why?
VC?
Yeah.
I grew a channel to 17 million followers. I go all over the world interviewing successful
Good
people to help
job.
the younger generation.
And kind of a condescending good job. I don't know if there's a level of sarcasm. It didn't sound like he was really like, it's like, good job. Okay. Like, can you piss off? Like, that's kind of the vibe I was getting here.
I've interviewed 25 billionaires in the last
And another level of kind of sarcastic, let me test this guy. I want to, it's kind of that power struggle that happens early in a conversation.
years in the last 4 years. Could I get 1 minute with you real quick?
No.
And no. And that moment, most people would probably buckle and call it a day. Now, a few things I'll preface here, and we can obviously go into the details of the words he uses and all of the communication linguistics to get and overcome these rejections. But I think there are certain things more important based on my experience and having done nearly 5,000 cold approaches like this in the time that we've had the channel and many previously, not counting any of the cold calling and so on and so forth, just pure interviews. Now, the things you got to understand is he's not winning this interaction because he's incredibly smart. It's because he's got some, like verbal judo, right? He's winning this because he can stay calm longer in the discomfort than most people can, right? Because he just stays calm and the discomfort eventually dissipates, right? So it's kind of an interesting way to understand these sort of situations is where you get the rejection, where you seemingly get the no that you hear, that most people freak out, that they go, oh, I'm going to get a no and it's going to be over, is eventually the no dissipates and it's no longer a no. Can you stay calm for long enough that the discomfort does not last? And that's going to be the spine of this whole analysis. And if there's the only one thing that I have learned that allows you to get into these sort of situations, and some of the greatest moments I have created in these interviews, some of the greatest opportunities that I've had in my life are the ones that start with someone telling you to get fucked, someone telling you they're not interested. And the entirety of it is to stay calm long enough until that resistance, the rejection, discomfort, everything goes away. Can you stay calm? Okay. Now, another really important part, which if he genuinely didn't believe what he was doing mattered, he wouldn't persist. Okay. So all of this really starts before he even opens his mouth, before he even has a single word that he said. It's all about the conviction. Now, he believes this moment is meaningful. He believes that the person has value. He also believes this entire interaction is fleeting. So in my situation, when I'm walking and I see someone and the first reaction I get is they're gonna go away. They're not gonna speak to me. Whatever. This is over. And I know that moment is fleeting. I'm possibly never going to see that person again. And that opportunity of having one of the most incredible interviews, interesting moments, the moments that get shared and talked about and all of that. And in this case, educational knowledge from someone who is a very busy, very hard to reach person. You've got to have the conviction that whatever you're doing prior to this means something, right? He's got that pull motivation that he is being pulled towards providing mentorship to the younger generation. And that in itself is enough conviction for him to continue. If you really, really, really believe you are going to walk through that door, you will find a way to walk through that door. One of the most important things is what even happens before the conversation begins. Because people can feel when you're asking for yourself, or is it some self-gain, self-grandizing moment here, or are you trying to do something bigger? And you can feel, has the belief inside that he is doing something bigger is going to pull him to getting that answer. Let me play it for a second longer, and then I'll talk a little bit.
Good opportunity.
And what is the best opportunity in today's world?
Anything to do with AI.
AI? So
It'll change everything.
Would you say that if you're not using AI, you're going to
You
get...
are so good.
Well,
Seriously.
but let me ask you, would you say
What
that...
school did you go to?
University of Texas, but
No.
I did. I went to
You
UT.
got to Michigan. What happened?
Real quick, let me ask you.
What happened
would you
to
say,
going to Michigan?
Real quick, would you say if you're not using AI, you're going to get left behind?
Yes, definitely.
So how would you be leveraging AI in your business?
I thought you said 1 minute.
Well,
you're past your time.
No, this isn't a minute.
You're funny.
I
though.
promise
like
you. I promise you. This is to help the younger people. I've done Tom Cruise, Tom Brady, Mark Cuban.
Good for you
Some of your
guys.
friends probably. Let me ask you, what's the best financial advice you ever received throughout your career from a mentor?
Listen to the customer.
Is it customers or employees first?
Customer.
Why?
Always the customer.
Yeah.
As you can see, his approach is clinical. It is like a surgeon, and this is, again, it's a psychological gearing for what you are doing. You got your blinkers on. You know what the goal is. You know what you're trying to achieve, and you are going in there to clinically execute the outcome. Right? So the interaction is already decided internally before he even opens his mouth. There's no apologies, like people would walk up, "Hey, I'm really sorry to bother you." "Oh, hey, apologies for taking up your time. Can I please speak to you for a second? Can I?" You're trying to disarm the situation before you even going in there, and that doesn't mean you barrage in like a bulldozer, like a total dickhead, and the person goes, "Get fucked," right? You've seen this gentleman in the shirt and the pants. He's tried to kind of bait him, use a little bit of sarcasm, trying to throw him off track when he was talking about which university did you go to? "Oh, you didn't make it into that university," to try and like throw him off the train tracks, single direction that James is trying to barrel his way through to extract the information. That's the drive and the conviction that he has to get that the information in this fleeting moment that he wants to get. And slowly and steadily, you can see the gentleman he is trying to target is coming back and saying, I'm fucking impressed. Like, bro, I really like you. Like, it's, people respect the persistence and the conviction, and people don't reject confidence, they reject uncertainty, right? And he is giving them this certainty that he is going to get that answer, right? And none of the apologetic stuff up top, okay? And let me just play it out now. There's not much left. So.
Now you're in VC.
Customer doesn't buy, you don't have a business.
Are you raising or are you investing in businesses? Is it invest? So real quick, did you ever,
I gotta go.
last
You
one,
guys-
what's the best investment you ever made throughout your career?
I Commerce One, long before you were probably born.
So what's the biggest year you had, the most amount of money that you made?
Don't you guys don't talk like that?
Was it more than $10 million?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's tiny. You don't stay in business making $10 million.
Okay.
I hope you can see there's a number of interesting nuggets that you can hopefully borrow and take into whatever endeavor you are pursuing, and where overcoming rejections, having a level of resilience and grit can open up opportunities, or actually change your life with these fleeting moments that most people would walk away from one, from the fear, two, from the initial resistance that most people feel like is a final resistance. Most people say no upfront as a little bit of a hazing ritual to test you, to induct you into, you're expecting a level of induction, is to try and see, do you have the strength? Do you have the calluses to be able to handle the little bit of the duel presented in front of you? The important parts here are the initial conviction, which happens before he's even stepped into the ring. Okay? The belief that something is driving him to do this. There is going to be no negotiations in getting what he needs. And then no need to be bringing his status down in this moment by apologizing, this, that. You're coming in as a very confident, clear, someone should take seriously type of individual, because these are serious individuals who are generally will deal with others who they believe are worth their time. So going in and actually being a person who presents themselves very well, no need to apologize. Hey, I want to ask you whatever I want to ask you, right? And there are other tactics he uses in the other videos, which I'll try and break down. And something that will help with all of the rising of the the fight and flight reaction of your body, which is getting you to start to become fidgety, anxious, and go, oh, oh no, this situation, and then you start to stumble and ramble, and you start to look around, and the other person goes, oh, I don't feel comfortable in this interaction. There's obviously prep to calm yourself down. So before I go into any sort of interview, I want to be able to be as relaxed, as present with the person as possible, make them feel relaxed. Majority of the interaction is to get the other person to feel calm, to feel relaxed. And how do you quickly relax and and take away the tension in your system? You know, if you rush, they retreat. If you're tense, they're tense. But essentially, what I do is I breathe deep into the diaphragm, inhale for 4 seconds, and then exhale for 2 seconds. And what you'll notice is in most situations, that completely calms your system down. Completely. There's, if you do it a few times, it'll bring it down even further. Like it'll just take away a lot of the anxiousness that sits in your systems. Enough deep breaths, 4 in, 2 out, 2 or 3 times prior to any activity where you're going to feel a level of tension, and you are generally in the zone. All right, let me play a second one for you, and then I want to analyze a few other things that I've got notes here on.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, how old were you when you became a millionaire?
I'm not interested.
So real quick, sir, I grew your channel to 18 million followers. I've interviewed 31 billionaires in the last 4 years.
I appreciate it.
Could I show you just for 30 seconds? I know you're an entrepreneur. I know you'll respect what I do. I've interviewed 31 billionaires. Let me show you what I do real quick. This is me.
No, I totally believe you. I'm just super private guy.
I got you.
So,
Let me just ask you, what type of companies did you own?
all software.
Technology
Fintech.
companies. So what was the biggest year that you had? Like, what was the most amount of money you made?
Well, that I can't share.
Would you say more than 100 million?
Yeah.
More than 200 million?
No, I wouldn't say that.
More than $100 million? I want to challenge you. Go back to when you were a $10 million company. What was it?
So same sort of deal. He's very confident, very well, obviously very persistent. You have to be persistent. That's a given. But he's very committed to his goal. The main thing here is that the no for him barely registers, and that's the point. You know, when he hears the no, he's not trying to argue. He's not acknowledging the no. He's not reacting emotionally. He's not getting aggressive, defensive, all of that. Because knows, he's aware, having done this often enough, and also me having done it often enough, you realize the no comes from a surprise, caution, uncertainty, and just a reflex, right? They're just defensive reflexes. You know, I'm just saying no because I don't know what the hell is going on here. And that does not always, right? There's certain times that, you know, I preface this with caution. If someone is in distress, someone is also in a situation where you should take a level of caution, and they are clearly in some level of distress, walk away. Those are not moments to double down and this. I've got, you know, you've got to have the cadence, right? Don't be a dickhead. Is really the only way I can explain that. And you know, you have enough common sense to know the clear distinction between the moment where you should persist because that is a fleeting opportunity, and the no is just used as a defensive reflex, versus a moment no where you should just fuck off, right? So let me play it back again. So knowing those few things now, and I haven't even gone into the body language because body language here is very interesting, but I want to leave a bit of time to go into that next because there's a couple of other videos here which I think exemplify body language a lot better. I would, however, not go with the hands in the pocket because, again, visible palms generally indicate to us no threat. Okay. Closed palms, again, it's pretty obvious. Closed palms mean you could be concealing something. And psychologically, as soon as you can see someone's palms, you will see some of the greatest speakers will always communicate with palms out generally. So hands in pocket approaching someone, definitely not recommended. It is very off-putting when it comes to body language because one, it's looks too casual, and in this situation, well, maybe he is trying to present himself very, very casual to a person who would appeal to someone who's just kind of casually walking past with their hands in their pocket. I don't think so. In this situation, it is not what I would do. You want to show a level of like a low threat, very transparent. Someone who's completely open here. There's nothing here to hide. I just want to have a chat. Like I would have my hands by my side, generally kind of straight down, or even while talking to them, like a slight wave. So in a lot of my interviews, I'll do a wave to palms facing. Everything is open. There's no threats here, and also it is quite disarming. Whenever you see that, as opposed to seeing this or hands in the pocket, very different reaction to meeting that person.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, how old were you when you became a millionaire?
I'm not interested.
So real quick, sir, I grew a channel to 18 million followers. I've interviewed 31 billionaires in the last 4 years.
I appreciate it.
Could I show you just for 30 seconds? I know you're an entrepreneur. I know you'll respect what I do. I've interviewed 31 billionaires. Let me show you what I do real quick. This is me.
No, I totally believe you. I'm just super private guy.
I got you.
so,
Let me just ask you,
yeah.
what type of companies did you own?
All software.
Technology
Fintech.
companies. So what was the biggest year that you had? Like, what was the most amount of money you made?
Well, that I can't share.
Would you say more than 100 million?
Yeah.
More than 200 million?
No, I wouldn't say that.
More than $100 million. I want to challenge you. Go back to when you were a $10 million company. What was the bottleneck that you had to overcome to get out to a $100 million business?
Mostly, you got to get out of your own way.
You kind of had to fire yourself.
I had lots of mentors in my career. The person that I learned the absolute most from was the worst boss I ever had.
Cool. I'm going to play the third video here so you can see another interaction, and then I can get into a lot of the body language stuff that I notice here that will be helpful for you to implement as well, because body language plays a much bigger role than any of the words. That's why I'm leaving the words right to the end. The words are very important, believe me. The words are very important, but the rest of it, if you nail, the words mean absolutely fuck all. Your own learnings.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, got a question for you.
No, on camera though.
Yeah?
No, I'm good though.
See, the rejection has come here already, right? For most people, that's the point of the rejection.
Okay, real
Thank
quick.
you, homie.
Have you seen the channel?
What's the name of the channel?
The School of Hard Knocks. We grew it to 18 million followers. We've interviewed Shaq, Tom Cruise, Tom Brady.
Fuck it, I give you some play. I just don't got no damn cut and I hate that shit.
I got you,
But I'm a
man.
filmmaker.
I got you, my man.
Let's go.
How long have you been in the film business for?
Okay, some of the notes that I have on his body language here. Now, the one thing I think I want to preface it with is confidence here is not pushing forward. A lot of people, I think, misrepresent confidence as someone who's like just knocking through doors and just pushing forward. Sometimes the easiest way to think of confidence and the easiest way to have a mental frame of what confidence actually is, and it is not flinching backwards. Okay, one of the things that kills a lot of the most important interviews, interactions, and these moments where you can get which is what we're talking about, is the ability to get over the initial hump, is staying, like I said, staying calm in that moment until the discomfort dissipates. So essentially, confidence is not pushing forward. It is not flinching backwards. Okay. No matter, now it just reminds me of this one moment. I'll just share this quick story because I think it may be very, very impactful in this part of the analysis. And I met this person. I was interviewing him. Well, I didn't want to speak to him because he looked like it was one of those moments where I felt like this individual was not in the right frame of mind. This individual was in a level of distress. And also there was an unnerving, uneasy feeling I was getting when I saw this individual. So I was trying to ignore him, but he came back and said something. I said, "Hey, yeah, cool, man. Yeah, see you later. I'll chat to you again." Blah blah blah. Just not saying no because I think a no might have again triggered the response I was trying not to get. And then again, he came back again and said something. Hey, just why don't you come and chat to me or whatever? And I said, yeah, dude, in a minute. And he said, why not now? Right. So in that moment, I said, okay, cool. I'll talk to you. So all the signals were that I was getting were alarming. I don't really want to speak to this person. I was trying to avoid them by doing it in a manner not to like hard shut them off because that can trigger a response back, which which you're trying to avoid. Anyway, so he came up to me and I could see blood on his arm, and there was a ton of cuts, and had a sharp object in his hand, which he said he used to attack someone with. He cut someone or did some sort of violent act with this sharp object he had concealed in his hand. And hearing that, internally, every part of me wanted to just go, I want to get the fuck out of this situation. I need to, as quickly as possible, press the eject button and get out. In that moment, I had to override my complete internal reaction to get the hell out of that situation, to just stay in the moment, okay? And not move backwards, not flinch, not even break eye contact, but just maintain soft, clear eye contact in that situation. Soft, which is two eyes into one eye, not two eyes into two eyes and deep into the soul, because I can have the same reaction of the person wanting to just punch you back in the face, is a soft eye contact into one eye. In all the moments here that there is any level of rejection, the confidence he's portraying is, you're telling me no, you're telling me to get away, you're telling me I'm not interested, I'm going to walk away from you, essentially walking away from you. He is maintaining that level of stillness, that confidence. And eventually that can wear most people out by being now curious, impressed, also respecting the fact that, okay, by seeing this person not flinching, not moving away, nothing bad is happening here. I'm also also have respect for this person, that I have disregarded them, and they are still here. I'm just going to play it back a little bit, and I want you to notice a few things, right? I want you to notice the position of the body, the smile, and the eye contact that he holds, and the fact that there was no recoil at resistance, and there was no surge forward like I'm the most bravado, like alpha male, let me get it. It was none of that. Okay, like so look at the body language and just notice a few things as the rejection comes.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, got a question for you.
Not on camera though.
Yeah?
No, I'm good though.
Okay, real
Thank
quick.
you, homie.
Have you seen the channel?
What's the name of the channel?
The School of Hard Knocks. We grew it to 18 million followers. We've interviewed Shaq, Tom Cruise, Tom Brady.
Fuck it, I give you some play. I just don't got no damn cut, and I hate that shit.
I got you,
But I'm
man.
a filmmaker.
I got you, my
All right,
man.
let's go.
How long have you been in the film business for?
25 years.
Did you start your own company?
Yes.
What was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
35 million.
$35 billion. And
one year.
what kind of got you into filmmaking?
So the usual, poised body language. So in most of the situation, you want to have, it's different for me. I am trying to curate a different character to most people, but in most situations, you want to have a neutral, just a neutral body language. And the simplest way that I think you can practice that is by resting a book on your head and just walking around the room. So having a book, just any sort of book, relatively heavy, makes it a little bit easier. Rest it on the top of your head, and that allows you to keep your neck generally quite straight, rigid upwards. Your eye line is aligned because you're balancing the book. Your shoulders generally start to drop backwards, and you maintain kind of a neutral posture. Okay. And then when you start walking around the room, you start to be comfortable in that neutral body language. And the neutral body language is the most confident body language. Most people think having your chest sticking out or doing like the whole meathead at the gym, I'm going to like fight you if you try and steal my barbell, bro. Like that's the one that exudes confidence. No, it is the person that is generally the most still, the least fidgetiest, the person who has internal confidence that they don't need to showcase their bravado. That's the body language. Okay. His eye contact is generally quite firm, but a thing that he does very well, and you can borrow this in any situation where you want to be able to disarm a person quite quickly, and that is the smile. That is the kind of amazement at the things the other person is saying. If someone says something, "Oh, I made 35 million, $35 million, 35 million." Like, I'm not talking about that sounded sarcastic. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to make it sound sarcastic, because that has the opposite effect. Is actually yeah, it's actually being amazed or showcasing a little bit of wow, like a little bit of joy in the moments that the person is expressing something. No way. And you're kind of allowing them to feel really good about themselves, taking the resistance further craned downwards. Yeah. In most cases, you'll see he's not aggressively getting into someone's personal space by trying to showcase overconfidence. It just puts everyone's communication a little bit at safety, right? But the little bit of amazement, and you'll notice in every circumstance of all the videos that I've showcased, when someone says the amount of money they earn, he will say it back in mirror that information with a tone of amazement. $35 million. No way. How did you get like, it is to make the other person feel a lot better about themselves and immediately allow you to engage a lot quicker. Play that back.
Tom Brady.
Fuck it, I give you some play. I just don't got no damn cut, and I hate that shit.
I got you,
But I'm
man.
a filmmaker.
I got you, my man.
Let's go.
How long have you been in the film business for?
25 years.
Did you start your own company?
Yes.
What was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
35 million.
$35 million.
In
And
1 year.
what kind of got you into filmmaking? It's a competitive business to be in.
I hope you looking. I was rejected at audition, and I was like, "Who's the fat dude with the phone?" They're like, "That's the producer." I was like, "I'm gonna produce my own stuff."
Talk to that young person out there. They're facing a lot of rejection in their career, their business. They're worried about what other people think about them. What would your message be to them?
I'm going to play the last one to death.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, how old were you when you became a millionaire?
What's your name?
I'm James. I go all over the world interviewing the richest people to help the younger generation.
How do you know I'm rich?
You see the smile. You see the smile that's allowing someone to disarm, because in that case, a little bit of a little bit of smiling up front and a little bit of a light-hearted tone allows the other person to feel connected a lot quicker than anything that's a little bit too aggressive, kind of monotonous, and not increasing the energy. You got to increase the person's energy in this situation to where they were previously.
But you look like money, man.
I look like money.
What line of business were you in?
Private equity and sports.
And then the smile is reciprocated. So there you go. The disarming has already taken place. By allowing a little bit of laughter, a little bit of smile, the other person engages back in a smile and a little bit of a joke, and you are disarming the tension quite quickly. Maybe you can see that I'm actually internally quite joyful in doing this. So if it makes you smile, the other person can feel that energy and they will reciprocate it with you.
Sports.
Yeah.
But what are you doing in sports?
One of the owners of the 76ers.
So you own a basketball team.
Yeah.
And how long have you been a private?
There again, you on a basketball team with a level of amazement, and that makes the other person feel better. When someone feels better, they'll give you more information. When someone feels a little bit more connected with you, when someone feels like they are being respected here, they will give you a little bit more information. When they start to now feel relaxed, you're in. You've done it.
Equity.
About 20 years.
Over these 20 years, what was the most amount of money you made in a single year?
Let's just say that our company runs about $80 billion in private equity.
80 billion with a B.
With a B.
So you're a billionaire.
According to some.
Are you on the Forbes list?
And maybe.
What's your name?
David Edelman.
Could I interview you for 1 minute real quick?
You got balls, man. Let's do it.
Now, getting into the words, I think that's the last part that I want to touch on, and this live's gone long enough, and then I'm going to cut it off here. Let me summarize the rest first, and then I'm just going to go into the elevator pitch that he uses, which are the words that are the most important part of his repertoire that allow him to get over the rejection very, very quickly. Overall summary: the important parts are having some sort of greater motivation. So I'm helping the younger generation. I'm going to feed 100,000 people. I am going to try and eradicate homelessness in my city. I am going to try and support my family by allowing us to have this amount of a house in this location so my kids can attend this school. Whatever that big motivation is that will let you knock down doors, will let you walk on walk on burning coals to get there is is the most important part before you do anything else. Okay? Then hand in hand with that is the ability to calm yourself. And you have techniques that allow you to calm yourself in a situation where you feel like things are elevating. And that doesn't need to only happen at the outset of the process. It can happen in the middle of the process. There's many moments in this live where I'm like, I don't actually know where the fuck I'm going with this. And then to recorrect, because this entire live is on the fly. I've got some notes, but I'm doing it on the fly. So many moments I have to course correct. And then when you start to get a little bit nervous or anxious or the jitteriness comes in, a small pause allows you to realign. Okay. So having some sort of system that you can do that, very important. Then the control over your body language. How can you structure your character to be the character, the persona, the kind of aura, the kind of feeling, the person that the other person would want to speak to, or would be the easiest to speak to, or the most enjoyable to speak to, or the most trustworthy, whatever that characteristic is, you can build that through the body language. In most cases, just a neutral body language will do the job. Okay. But if you want to curate a character in particular, which is what I do for my interviews, and that's got to be the aloof, little bit crazy, potentially could be slightly tipsy, also very low status, low stakes, low risk person, then you can use your body language to curate that kind of personality. Okay. And it's all within your control. It's like art. You can mess with it. You can fuck with it and make it what you want, right? Then also going in clinically. Okay. You are going in clinically to get this thing done. Put the blinders on, take away all the other riffraff, the other distractions and other movements, other bits of conversation, unless they are strategically aligning with the goal, right? Sometimes those tangents are important to get to your goal. They're very important. But don't veer off because of nerves, because of tension, because of societal pressure, or because you've just now been derailed because the other person has controlled your frame. No, clinically align yourself to the goal that you are trying to achieve. And when it comes to confidence, confidence is not pushing forward, it is not flinching backwards. Okay, there are many situations you need to stay calm long enough that you outlast the discomfort. And that in itself will overcome most of your hurdles. Last couple of minutes, I'm going to talk about the wording and then we'll call it. Okay. Now you'll notice he's really curated his elevator pitch, which is very, very, very important. If you can control the scripting of the thing you're trying to say and summate it in the shortest, most compressed form that you can, it is going to, and then you can repeat it, practice it, sharpen it, test it, and go, this is the most condensed version that I can deliver, and I can deliver automatically without having to think about it, and it achieves the purpose that I want it to achieve. That's what you're trying to get to. You know, like for example, I'm in Perth. If someone goes, I'm in Utadale, and I talk to people in Utadale to see what their business, it doesn't sound as exciting. I'm in Utadale to talk to business owners. They're like, oh, sure, we'll see you again. But if I travel the world, it just elevates the importance of this thing that he's doing. To talk to billionaires, like, whoa, you only talk to billionaires? I'm a billionaire. So again, relatability. I grew this channel, important word, 17 million followers, validation. Travel the world elevates the importance of the thing that he's doing to make people pause for a second and say, this is important. To talk to billionaires like you. I'm a billionaire. I interview billionaires. I am like this person, you know. And then another thing that I think he says is the name drops. when it really requires a more convincing is the likes of Tom Cruise, Tom Brady, Shaq, Will Smith, and Gary Vee, and whoever else. I don't know if Gary Vee makes that list, but all those people. And he's not trying to say that he's important. He's trying to say important people trust me. It means other people have trusted him. He's borrowing the trust by using those name drops, which is very common method of marketing, is to use case studies and other forms of credibility using these big names to disarm people. Oh, if Tom Brady, Tom Cruise, and Shaq and all these very well told names has trusted you, of course I can trust you. That's kind of the leverage there. But I think one of the most important things that he mentions is travel the world and interview billionaires like yourself or millionaires and lots of billionaires to share with the younger generation tips on how they can become better entrepreneurs. Now, by doing that, it is now going to make that other person have a level of guilt by not sharing information that might be important to the younger generation. Now it's positioned as, well, this is not about me solely. This is about me doing this to help the greater community. And by you now not sharing this information, you're not just rejecting me, you're rejecting the younger generation from getting access to this information. So it is worded beautifully. And I bet you there has been many, many iterations of that short elevator pitch that James has had to craft to finally get to those few lines that he has tested over and over again. Hey, just a quick one. I've grown this channel to 17 million followers, and I travel the world to speak to millionaires and billionaires like yourself so I can share some of this information with the younger generation. Can I have an interview with you for 1 quick minute? Can I borrow you for a quick minute? Do you mind sharing your advice for just 1 quick minute? In the end, it's not a minute. You know the minute's going to extend, but the commitment you get is for the minute. So it is very, very clever wording, and practicing that, having that part scripted so you can maneuver the rest, but the foundation of the words that are coming out of your mouth are not going to vary, is incredibly, incredibly important. So anyway, that's long enough. The final thing that I want to mention is, if you want to take anything away from a lot of this analysis that we had, is if you can stay calm long enough that the discomfort doesn't last, you will win. Thank you. Hope this has been valuable. Take care and see you next time.